Why hiring fractional leaders could be huge for your company. What I love about the fractional space is that I truly believe we can deliver as good of a product as a full-time in-house person. Why and how? I think one of the pieces of magic behind a fractional leader, and we'll zoom in here on the marketing space because that's what we do, is provide fractional marketing leadership. Why I believe it's so powerful is we are fractional leaders for multiple companies in multiple industries doing multiple things. And so what that gives us the ability to do is to have this really unique synergy and efficiency when it comes to the strategy and marketing plans that we propose. We see how this is working for other companies, or what's working and what's not for other companies. We see what's working in other industries, and we're constantly apprised of how to deliver better and better marketing direction, communications, leadership. This is what we do. We spend all of our time learning about the latest and greatest techniques and approaches when it comes to leading marketing and communications. So we're able to bring this toolbox and arsenal from experience with our own abilities in leading over the years and in what we see in other companies. And so we're experimenting with something over here with a unique marketing strategy, and it works. We're able to bring a lot of that into our other customers, or we're able to learn valuable lessons from mistakes that might be made whenever a strategy doesn't pan out or something like that. We're constantly able to stay in that mindset of what works best in the realm of marketing and communications for a company, and how can we lead this better. I believe as fractionals, we're really primed and key placed in order to do this for companies. I've said this before, I'll say this a lot again in future videos, that I do believe fractional is the future in a lot of ways, and a really good thing for small and mid-sized businesses. Why? It's cheaper. I believe it's more efficient. I believe it's more productive. And I believe for a lot of companies and CEOs that are looking for marketing solutions, I just think it makes the most sense all the way around. There have been probably 10 to 12 companies out of the 25 that we work with currently in Andocia, where we've came into these situations and leadership is hard to find. Somebody that can come into a room, cast vision for where we need to go, and then know how to hold that vision and strategy accountable and drive it down into tactics that actually move the needle on the business. That's a hard skill set to find. And so a lot of times there's compromise that's made in that marketing leadership seat. Somebody thinks that if they're a good admin, or if they're a good creative, or if they're a good copywriter, or if they've somehow just proven themselves in one other area of marketing and communications, or for a lot of people, they're just willing to do it. They're willing to sit in that seat. That's great. And I never want to knock anybody that is in that full-time marketing director position. I believe there are phenomenal full-time CMOs out there. I believe there are phenomenal marketing directors out there. We get to work with some of them. Incredible human beings that are leading well, that know the marketing spectrum, that know what are going on in the marketing and communication industry to be able to move the needle forward for businesses. I believe that. But I think there's a lot of companies out there that aren't blessed and fortunate to be in that circumstance. So they either have a marketing director that's in that seat de facto. They're there because nobody else can take the seat. They're there because they were a good creative or a good marketer maybe in another realm, and so they're trying to fit them into this marketing director seat. But the reality is that's a very unique skill set that can come into a boardroom, that can come into a leadership team meeting and cast proper vision for where marketing needs to go, point the way and say, here's where we're going, here's the roadmap to get here, and we understand your voice, we understand your vision, now let's freaking go and get to work. The unique skill set. Now, thankfully, at Andocia, we worked really hard to acquire great fractional marketing directors who can do precisely that. They can come into a leadership team meeting or a team meeting or a boardroom or whatever the context might be and confidently lead marketing direction while also being able to lead a creative team to execute all the creatives. So those are some of the reasons why I believe fractional marketing is something that you should look into. It makes sense from a cost perspective. It makes sense from an efficiency perspective. It makes sense from a capabilities perspective. Hire somebody who really knows what they're doing, and I can guarantee you this. Watch them get done more in one day or in a couple hours a week than what somebody who is full-time can do in that seat if they're not really quite qualified to be in that seat.